Hi there everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. We are in December now, so it is getting colder. We've had a little bit of snow here, but you know, it's December. What do you expect, right? I will say that the wildlife outside my window is very active recently. It looks like I've got more birds coming in. We used to just have the little ones, and I don't know what kind of birds they are. Some of them have like a red chest, other are more grayish. Maybe finches, I'm not quite sure. And then, but I've seen some bigger birds coming through in our trees, which I'm not quite sure what they are yet. If next time I see them when I'm not recording, I will try and take a picture of them and show them to you. Our Reggies are doing great. Those are our squirrels. I have named them all Reggies, so now every time I see a squirrel, I call them Reggie. I don't know if it's the same family that we've had all along or if it's different ones. It's hard to tell. None of them are distinctive enough for me to know if it's the same ones, but I think it is. I'm not seeing a lot of bunnies this year yet, but you know, they're usually out and about later December, January. So hopefully I'll see more bunnies then. But yeah, so I'm excited about all my wildlife. I love it very much. I love having the bird feeder right outside my office window. The way I have my office rearranged now, I can look right outside the window while I'm recording. So, or diamond painting, or crafting for that matter, because I've been doing tons of other crafting lately. But yeah, I can see and enjoy all the wildlife while I'm here at my desk. All right, guys, so let's get into it, right? We're working on the red tree. Now, as you can see, this canvas is wrinkled, but you know what? It doesn't bother me, especially if you like put it in a poster frame or something like that after you're done with it. You're not really going to see those wrinkles. It is laying down. You know, once all the drills get on it, you can press it under a book or something like that, and it'll flatten out even more because the drills actually have some weight to them. So I'm not real worried about the waviness in my canvas. But we are working on this red tree that I got from Amazon, and let me peel back the plastic here for you guys to see. So I have done this bottom part here and up the sides a little bit here. So I'm basically almost halfway done. I've got this portion of this tree left here to meet up with the rest of it that's going up here. I love the swag that's on the tree, and I've been kind of following that since the tree is a lot of confetti. I've been sectioning it out through the swag and doing it that way, so it doesn't get too overwhelming or whatever, you know. I love confetti, so you know, I don't mind doing confetti at all because it's fun for me. However, it does, even for me, as much as I love it, get overwhelming when you see the whole scope of it. So, you know, if there's a focal point, like I'm using the swag, if there's a focal point in your painting, use that as a guideline if you don't have it all covered with you know, washi tape or whatever, and aren't doing single sections. Something like this, I wouldn't block it off because I tend to do all of the confetti first and then the background. But something bigger like a Diamond Art Club or something like that, that's like a huge painting, Dreamer Designs, whatever, that one you probably would section off in like blocks and just do it that way. But then, you know, then you're changing out your colors a lot more. When you have it like this on a small painting, you can basically go all over and then not change out the colors as much. At least that's my thought process. Whether or not it works and whether or not I'm just teasing myself with that fact, that's the way my brain works. So we're going to work on, I'm going to zoom in and we're going to work on this portion of the tree here, because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me color block. So we'll work on this. I might not zoom in fully. I don't have the second camera set up. So I might just zoom in a little bit and then, you know, because I want to get these star patterns as well as I pull out colors and if I need them. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. I have my drills over here. Now you guys know that I don't really kit up per se. I do have containers that I could kit up in, but I don't like, you know, making labels and stuff like that is for, you know, something that I'm just going to throw away in a little bit of time. Just doesn't make sense to me. So what I do is I just baggy them up, and it's, you know, a lot less storage space as well. So I just baggy them up. This time I did it a little bit differently. Before, I would baggy them up and put a little sticker on them that said the DMC number. This time, however, my baggies, I realized that my baggies are the same size as the little bags that they come in. So I just put them in the baggies, and then I wound up just sliding the baggies in the cut bag so that I don't lose what color they are. But I know it's kind of weird, but it's working for me, so it's working for me. So like I said, we're going to work on this section here. And I'm not going to zoom in too far. Just right there probably. Yeah, that'll work right there. So you will see me using my pen. The camera will kind of focus on my hand a little bit more, so just want to warn you about that fact. I am using my my pen from Miss Creations by Danny. I just ordered a new one that is winter inspired. So when that gets here, I will show you that one, show off that one. And I'm using my green NYX's Notions tray. Now I do have a 4-placer on here and a single placer. I'm using regular just purple wax that came with one of the kits, you know, one of the generic heart-shaped waxes there. And then in my tip, I'm actually using my Randa's Crafty Corner Sea Breeze Scented Putty. I go back and forth between that and wax. Depending on my mood, depending on the weather, waxes are a little bit more finicky. So sometimes they're a little too gooey, sometimes they're a little too hard, and when that happens, I don't really want to mess around with it, so I just use putty instead. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna pick out, like, what I've been doing is kind of doing the lighter colors first and then going to the darkers. So I'm gonna pick out I, and we're gonna work on that one, which is number 8, 7, 12. And then I just open up my baggie. See, it's just in that, and I just open up my baggie and pour it in my tray and set my baggie to the side. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I dropped that drill. I might need new putty. I'm doing pretty well though. I was kind of not feeling good today. Didn't get much sleep, but that's more because my puppy was not feeling good. And I always get kind of bummed out when my animals get sick, because, you know, they can't tell us what's wrong. So I was really worried. Izzy went outside and he was eating the sunflower stalks, sunflowers that we have out back, but they're all, you know, obviously because of the winter, they're all dead. I have to trim them out. But he was eating like the dead leaves and stuff like that. So I was all worried about it. I didn't want him to get sick. And so I was looking it up, and I guess sunflowers are basically the one flower that you could eat all of, like pretty much all of it. People as well. And you guys probably already knew this because they make like teas and stuff like that with sunflowers. But I didn't know it. So I looked it up to make sure he wasn't going to get sick. And no, he's going to be fine. It's not going to hurt him at all. And it said that, you know, most likely he probably just needs more fiber. Probably is a little backed up. So that's why he was choosing to eat it. So, which is fine. It just, you know, was in the middle of bedtime for me, and he took a very long time outside, and so I had to stay awake. I couldn't like just go back into bed because I needed to let him back in. My husband was sleeping, and he was, you know, obviously going to do a 12-hour shift, so I didn't want him to have to get up. I have some eye over on this side. It's not that many. I'm going to do that really quick. Let me first put this one over here. Then I just have 5 over on the side here that I'm going to do. I know it's off camera, but I'm just going to do that real quick before I put this away, this color away. So yeah, I stayed up so that my husband could sleep. So I'm tired, but I didn't go to work tonight or last night or overnight, whatever. Is my whole point, because I didn't sleep. I took a little nap, but I didn't really sleep. Let's see, what color do I want to do? There's a lot of F in here, so maybe I should do that one next. Let's do F, number 5. F is number 5, which is 436. So no, we're doing pretty good though. I haven't decorated the house as much as I want to. You guys know, well, if you watched any of my videos from like a week or 2 ago, whatever it was, I was like itching to decorate the house and stuff, and I really haven't done it. I just have an F over on the side, so I wanted to put that in. I haven't decorated the way that as much or the way that I want to yet, but it is just the beginning of December, so I'm not real worried about it, but I kind of want to get it done anyway because I really just want the decorations up. But it also is partially me waiting on my husband, because all of the Christmas decorations are in the garage, which is his domain pretty much. I don't really go in there, so I'm not sure where they are. So I'm kind of waiting for him to get them out so that we can get everything set up. And we just had a lazy weekend pretty much. You know, after Thanksgiving, you kind of just have lazy days, so to speak, you know. So last week was pretty lazy for us. And his work schedule was a little weird last week too, so. But I just dropped that drill. Where'd it go? There it went. This, I might need some more tack, some more putty, because this is not as tacky as I'd like it to be right now. So I'm just gonna pick that out real quick and get new putty in here. Get all the pieces up. All the pieces. Oops, I got some down there by accident. I do want to do, I've read a couple of books since my last book review, so I kind of wanted to talk to you, do kind of like a book review comparison, movie comparison for the third book of the Jessie Stone stuff, which I told you I would do. So in case you guys haven't seen my other book reviews, Jessie Stone is a character by Robert B. Parker. This is the third book, Death in Paradise. So Jessie Stone is a character, and they made TV movies based on the books, and it stars Tom Selleck, and they're on Amazon. I don't know if they're free for you to watch, but you could probably rent them, I think. So they're on Amazon Prime. And so I saw the movies. Like, I've seen all 9 movies, and I absolutely loved them, which made me want to read the books. So I've bought and read 3 of them so far. There are quite a few. 9 of them were written by Robert B. Parker himself, and then after he passed away, there's a couple of writers that are still writing, or were still, I'm not sure when the last book was published, but wrote a few more Jessie Stone novels, and I haven't gotten to them yet. I don't know if I'll read them. We'll see. I might try, after I read the first 9 that were actually written by Robert B. Parker, I will probably get the next one to see if I like it, because you never know when it's kind of like a band that you grew up listening to, and then all of a sudden they switch their lead singer, right? Their lead singer quits and they get a new lead singer, and it's like, it might be good if you never heard the original lead singer, but you missed it's just not the same. So that's kind of how I feel, but I'm willing to give it a shot. But I'm going to read the first 9 books and then decide. So I've gone through 3. So the book review, so the first one, they made the first movie from the second book. They did not make into a movie, but this third book, Death in Paradise, they did make a movie on. So in this book, I say a lot, so I'm sorry. In this book, Death in Paradise, Jessie Stone, there's a couple of things that are going on with this. So you have 3 different, the main story plot is a girl is found dead in the water, and Jessie is going to, goes around trying to figure out, 1, who she is, because there's no indication of who she is, and then 2, finding the killer, obviously, right? So that's one storyline that's going on in the book. The second storyline that's going on in the book is there is a domestic violence situation that's going on with a couple in the town. So that's the second situation. And then the third situation is that Jesse's ex-wife has set him up or asked him to see a therapist for his drinking because he's an alcoholic and he doesn't, not to get too much into it because some of you who have seen my other book reviews for this know, but I'm gonna just real quick. So Jesse is a cop. He was in Hollywood or LA or whatever it was, and he basically was forced to resign because he had a drinking problem, and the only place that he could get a job was in Paradise, which is in Massachusetts, and the people that hired him there, as he was hired as like chief of police. So the people that hired him there in the originally were what do you call it? Bad people, for lack of a better term. And they were hoping that with his drinking problem, he would be an easy pushover and they would still be able to be corrupt. Corrupt, that's the word I was looking for. Which didn't happen. But, so he's on, basically, like, this is his last shot to get his life back together and to still be a cop. So so the third plot line is that his ex-wife set him up with a therapist who was a cop and was an alcoholic himself, and so she kind of talked Jesse into going to talk to this guy. Jesse is still in love with his ex-wife who cheated on him, and then they got divorced, but he still, has tons of girlfriends or women that he dates, but he is fully open with them about that he still loves his ex-wife, and if there's any chance of him getting back together with his ex-wife, he's going to do it. But the women that want to be with him apparently don't mind that and are with him anyway. So that is the basic plot lines of this book. And like I said, they did make a movie based on this book. So what I'd like to do is kind of compare the two. So in the book, so spoilers, if you guys want to read this book or not, there's going to be spoilers in this. So with the side plot of the domestic abuse, it is pretty much the same in the book and in the movie. So basically the wife doesn't want to press charges about her husband beating her up, but because she's Catholic and she thinks that she, doesn't have an education, she thinks that she can't move forward, what is she going to do, that kind of thing. And so she finally, through it all, wants to get a divorce, asks Jesse to talk to her husband, and basically before deciding that she wanted to get divorced, Jesse kind of threatens the husband and tells him that, if he ever hits her again, he'd kill him. That kind of thing. And then that plot line plays out in the book and in the movie pretty much the same. There's a scene in the grocery store where the husband is threatening to kill his wife because she's going to leave him, and you know, stuff goes down, and Jesse winds up shooting the guy. Let me look. Did I get all the F's in here? I think I see one more. Where'd it go? Right here. I don't know, I see one more. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I can always come back and fill it in. But so the only difference on that plot line to the one in the movie, if I remember correctly on the book, now it's been a couple weeks since I finished the book, so bear with me, but I'm pretty sure in the book his sergeant or whatever, one of his police officers under him that he takes with him on everything is a guy he nicknamed Suitcase Simpson. So Officer Simpson in the movie helps out with everything, but I don't think he gets shot in the book. In the movie, he gets shot and is in a coma, and that's where they end. They kind of leave his character in the movie. I don't recall that happening in the book. Sorry, I took a drink of my coffee. Let me grab another color while I'm talking to you guys. Let's go with J is 19. So that's one difference. The second plot of Jesse with his ex-wife and him seeing the therapist is pretty much the same. The dialogue is very similar. The process is very similar. They didn't really change much about that. They probably had a little bit more detail in the book than in the movie, but you know, that's to be expected. It seems to me that Jesse kind of thinks therapy's kind of maybe not ridiculous, but doesn't really think it's for him. But he's doing it anyway because he knows his ex-wife wants him to do it, and it seems to be like he kind of likes the guy, likes the straight talk that the guy gives him. So it seems to me like he's probably going to stick with the therapist and see what comes of it. He is struggling with his drinking. He really is trying not to drink around, you know, in certain situations. He's choosing. I remember in the book there was a point where he was actually by himself, and he had poured himself a drink and actually didn't drink it, which is pretty significant. In the movie, they did not show that. They did not go that in depth with his drinking. Like I said, I think they went more in depth with the therapist, but not... Oh, I'm sorry. They went more in depth with the therapist in the book than in the movie. They kind of glossed over it in the movie. I don't see any more J's. There's one over here. So yeah, so that's the second plot line, which, you know, is fine. I'm okay with that. There was more interactions with Jesse and women in the book than there was in the movie this time. You know, Jesse is kind of a playboy, so an honest playboy, if there is such a thing. And so there was a lot of that in the book. Now, the main plot, though, 17 is what I'm looking for here. Okay, the main plot is different. I don't know, like, I'm assuming they kind of scaled everything down for the movies, because they were made for TV movies. I don't think they were on Hallmark, but they were on like Lifetime or, one of those channels, I believe. And so the main storylines in the books, the main plots, are way more harsh than what they did in the movies. So for this one, the main plot line is girl's found dead. First part of it is Jesse trying to figure out who she is. He thinks he knows, at the time where he thinks he knows who she is, he finds her parents and stuff like that and goes to talk to her parents. Now, in the book, the mom, the mother of the girl, is really cold. Like, they basically disowned the child or the girl, and the mom is just kind of like gets this whole attitude of, well, she's been dead to us for a long time, that kind of attitude. So she's real cold-hearted, real just not a nice character. And the dad seems more submissive and kind of like real worried about his daughter, but doesn't want to say anything because he doesn't want to piss off his wife, that kind of thing. So he just kind of like keeps his mouth shut and does what he's told, kind of thing. Then in the book, in the movie, it's kind of the opposite. They made the father the strong one who is like, well, she should have known better, or, she should have followed our standards, right? Because it was all based on appearances, what the social status was for the family, of why they kicked the daughter out and why they didn't report her missing and that kind of thing. So it was all put on the dad in the movie, whereas in the book it's put on the mom. So that's one difference. The second difference is that the guy who winds up committing the murder in the book is not the same guy that they chose for the murder in the movie. So in the movie, it was that an older gentleman was basically, molesting or screwing around with the young girl, and she was pregnant, and he was a writer, and he was going to write an expose on this kind of crime boss kind of guy, and the crime boss found out about it and had the girl murdered, so that the guy would go down the writer would go down, would look like he was the one that murdered her, because he was like a child molester or something, and he would go to jail and he would never write the book. That's basically the plot of the movie. Now, the book is different. The guy who was molesting her is the actual killer in the book. And he basically was, prostituting or buying young women to have sex with, and the person that had the sort of prostitution ring going on was like the secretary of the crime boss. And so the guy who, and the girl wasn't pregnant in the book, so the guy who murdered her was the actual guy, that the writer guy. I don't remember. I was trying to think. I don't remember him being a writer in the book, but it's possible that he was. So that whole story plot changes for the movie, and they kind of did that with the first movie too. The first one, the way that it was written for the movie was very different from the way the book was written. So I just find it interesting because you could enjoy both of them, both the movies and the books, without leaning on one or the other. Right? You could read the books as a whole and enjoy that and how that's written, but then you can watch the movies and you're familiar with the lead character, but it's not playing out the same way, if that makes sense. I'm going to zoom out here. So the movies, so to wrap that up, the movies are awesome because, you know, Tom Selleck is awesome and the way that he plays the character is really good. The books are really good because you have such an interesting dynamic. These were all written like, I think in the 90s or early 2000s. I think it's early 2000s they were written. And when was this copyrighted? Yeah, this was copyrighted in 2001, and this is the third book. So late 90s, early 2000s. So the whole mentality of things were different. And he was an older guy. The author, the actual author, was an older guy, so he grew up in a different time. So I enjoy reading these books because it shows, it's kind of nostalgic. It shows the way society used to think. You know what I mean? So I really enjoy it. Now when you watch the movies are more sympathetic to the way society was when the movies were made, because I think that one, Death in Paradise movie, was done in, I think, 2007 or something like that. It's right around there. So you're looking at, you know, 6 years later after this book was written was the movie. So times and social times had changed quite a bit, that they could not make the movie the way the book is. It's the same thing with the first one. You know, the first movie I think came out in 2006. So you're looking at 6 years for that one, and it was way different. There wasn't, because there was no African American people in the book on his police staff. Whereas in the movie, they made his Molly, the deputy, or whatever her name is, or whatever position she holds, they made her character African American in the movie. And, you know, and it makes a huge difference on that first book and that first movie, because the first book was more about the corruption of a group of kind of like white supremacists, whereas in that first movie is completely different, you know, just absolutely completely different. So you can take the movies and watch them as they are, and they are adapted to the social atmosphere of the time, whereas the books hold true to what Robert B. Parker wanted the character to be, if that makes sense. So like there's no holds barred on this. The language isn't bad in these books, but there is a lot of old acceptabilities, social acceptabilities that are in these books, and I like it. I think they're really enjoyable to read. They're not very long. These don't take me too long to read. I usually take them to work, and I'm reading them on and off throughout my shift, and with that it takes me about 3 days to get through them. They're roughly, this one was 305 pages, so they're not too long. Very short, what is it called? What are they called? The, oh my god, my freaking thing just, my brain just took a dump in my head. What is that? What is it called? Chapter. That's what it's called. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I couldn't remember that word. I am very sorry. The chapters are very short. Like this one here is just like 3 pages. Like 2 pages. And then, excuse me, and then this one is like 4 pages. I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee. So, the books are really good. Excuse me, bless me. The movies are really good, but you kind of have to watch them separately. You can expect to see kind of the same character names. Tom Selleck does a great job playing the character of Jesse Stone. The way he plays them in the movie is very similar to the way he's written, with the way that Tom Selleck portrays him, I think is really good. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't talk a lot in the books, and he doesn't talk a lot in the movies. What he says is very matter of fact, in the sense of he doesn't run on sentence. He doesn't go into these long spiels about stuff. He's very, short sentences, is very just straight to the point. And I like that. Tom Selleck does that really well. So, yeah. I really like the book. I really like the movies. I'm going to get the 4th book soon, hopefully. But if you're interested, it's Robert B. Parker. The series is Jesse Stone novels. This is the 3rd one, Death in Paradise. I would recommend, if you like these kind of like drama, kind of cop books. I don't know what the genre is, but I really like it. I really think he's done a really good job with this one, with this series. And he also did the Spencer books, which they made the TV show Spencer for Hire. So he also wrote those. I might wind up going back and reading those, but we'll see. I really like it. So anyway, enough of the book review. Thanks for listening. Book review, movie comparison, that kind of thing. And we did a little bit of diamond painting. So we worked on this section here just a little bit. I did like 3 colors in here just to get some of that tree. But you can see here how you've got like the darker colors here to show that there's more of a shadow on that. I really love the greens that they used in on this canvas. I think it's wonderful. And now as we're getting to the light, it's getting brighter in here. It looks like you're gonna have a little bit more, maybe some of, oh no, I was thinking that maybe you'd have some darker colors up here, but because it goes back into dark. So it will get a little bit darker, but not much. But I think this is really, really nice. I'm really loving the way this turned out. Again, I got this from Amazon. It's a 30 by 40. 24 colors. If you like it, the link will be below. And yeah, you got enough time to get it before Christmas and put it up if you want to, or maybe get it for next year. You know, one of those things. But I think it's a really pretty tree. And the next time you see this, it'll be done. I will hopefully at the end of the month show you all of the stuff that I've gotten done this month, Christmas related. So that's my plan anyway. We'll see if it works out. All right, guys. Well, I have run on way too long with this. That book review took a long time. So thank you for joining me today. If you are a subscriber, first and foremost, thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like, leave a comment if you would like to. I try to get back to them within a week. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps out the channel and I really, really appreciate it. And that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. I will see you back here on Wednesday and have a great one. Bye.